My goal is to help you to get anxiety free. Anxiety is going to show up and knock on the door any day. But whether or not it controls you, whether or not it affects you and makes you change your mind and panic and all of that, that is entirely up to you. You get to choose. Who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe fear or are you going to believe joy? Are you going to believe fear or are you going to believe love? Are you going to believe fear or are you going to believe God? You were made for peace. Hi there, I'm Ashanti, and I am an anxiety champion and the host of this podcast. I teach peace seekers like you how to overcome anxiety through faith. This podcast was not made to help you cope with anxiety, but to help you break the grip of anxiety on your mind, body, and spirit for good. Are you ready to ditch the panic attacks and incessant worrying? Do you truly want the peace of God that passes all understanding? Good. You've come to the right place. Let's get started. Without further ado, panic, meet peace. All right, everybody, take a listen to this. If you are loving this podcast and you are getting so much help through our weekly sessions here on the podcast, then you're going to love this new offer. I have just decided to launch my coaching program where you will get to work with me one-on-one. Overcoming anxiety in your life will get personal, get down to the nitty-gritty, and for the month of September, beginning September 1st, I'm giving away not one, but two coaching sessions to two different people. So if you're interested in coaching with me one-on-one on overcoming anxiety, getting rid of those triggers, and getting onto a new, peaceful, faithful journey, you're going to want to sign up. The link is in the show notes. Click the link, send me your information, just a Google Doc, and let me know why you think you should be selected and what it is that you're dealing with. I would love to work with you one-on-one, and if you want to do it for free, this special ends August 31st, and we begin September 1st. I hope to see you soon. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. This is Ashanti, your host, and I'm so glad you could join me for today. We have a good episode today. So we're talking about how to quit overthinking the future and 4 tips to become present daily. This is so impactful in the lives of especially new moms, new parents in general, people who carry a lot of weight, people who wear a lot of hats in your life. We often tend to overthink just as humans. And what we're doing when we're overthinking is we are trying to break down every scenario in our heads of what could happen or what will happen or what if this happens. We're trying to answer questions about the future that we haven't even seen yet. And it's natural. It's a very human instinct to want to predict the future and want to know what's coming, what's happening. It makes us feel like we are prepared. It makes us feel safer and it makes us feel confident, right? When you know something and you're confident in it, you don't have to worry about it or overthink it because it's just there. You've got the knowledge, you've got the experience. But when you are not certain about something, your brain automatically just starts figuring out things, breaking it down, solving the problem, and putting up preparedness in case things go wrong. That's where anxiety steps in. That's actually anxiety. Anxiety steps in and goes, okay, but this could go wrong and this could go wrong. And maybe that would actually hurt my child. So I probably shouldn't do that. Or what if this person doesn't like what I'm doing? Or what if my family doesn't approve? We often allow anxiety to take us down the path of illogical reasoning. And that causes us to overthink and ultimately ends up with us feeling anxious just through and through. And so today, I really want to share with you some things that I have applied in my life to help me to be present, to help me to stop trying to guess the future and to really just enjoy the moment. I don't think we realize how much anxiety robs us of joy because we allow the fear of what could come to hinder how we feel and how we interact in the present moment with those that we love around us. I was actually having this discussion with a friend the other day. She was talking about how she's single. She wants to get, eventually she wants to get on the marriage train, but she's not ready to date yet because she's had a lot of, history with guys that have broken her heart in the past. And we were just kind of talking about how she's been kind of getting back into the groove of things. And she's been speaking with a friend who she's finding herself being attracted to. But she was thinking about cutting him off because she was afraid. What if it doesn't work out? What if this is all fake? What if he breaks my heart again? What if I become someone I don't like? She just kept asking herself all these questions. And so I was talking to her about it. And I told her, I said, I don't want you to forfeit the joy of what could be by preparing for the fear of what has happened in the past. And, she started crying because she realized that she was just letting anxiety decide for her. And we've talked about this before. Don't let fear decide anything for you. We're taking action this month. Our movement this month is movement. It's doing something intentional and being intentional with everything that we do. So don't allow fear to decide for you at any point. If you're thinking about starting a new workout plan because you want to get into better shape and you've never done this kind of workout before, and so you're thinking about all the things that could go wrong, don't allow fear to do that to you. We are not here to live in fear every day. We are here to live a joyful, full life. And the only way that we can do that, the only way that we can really experience true joy is number one, having a relationship with God. And number two, being in the moment, allowing what is to be and allowing what is to be to come. And I'm going to give you 4 tips. These are 4 things that I do. These are just 4. I do more things, but this is just 4 of them because I don't want to have too long of an episode. And I want to share with you some of the things that I have learned because these are all a bit of learning curves. There's not necessarily like a step-by-step plan on how to be present in the moment. These are more like practices. So I don't have a strategy and a full outline detailed on how to be present. What I have are practices that you can start right now to take control of your mind, to stop the overthinking train, to be present in the moment, and to allow joy into your life. Because as I was telling my friend, I don't want to see you forfeit joy just because of the fear of what's happened in the past, whether that comes to relationships or new careers or experiences or travel or church even. There's a lot of people who experienced church hurt in the past because of people that were in the ministry or things that happened in the ministry. And so they repel church because they're afraid of what can happen. But there is a church for everyone, I believe. I believe there is a church for everyone. And so I encourage people all the time to find one that speaks the word of God in truth, focus less on the people, and be present for what God is saying. Because when you're there and you're hearing what the preacher is saying, hopefully your pastor is hearing from God. Those are the words of God. And what God is doing is preparing you. He's teaching you. He's loving you. He's showing you grace. But you have to be present to receive it. And not just present in the physical, but present in the mental too. You have to be present in your present time so that you can really reap the benefits of what is happening right in front of you, what is happening right before you. I did an episode, and maybe I'll share a clip of it later in the week, but I did an episode about the power of now. You can find it, it's very early in the seasons. But in that episode, we talked about how there is no time like now. You don't have yesterday. You don't have tomorrow. All we have is now. And that is so powerful because what we do now can both repair what has been done in the past and prepare us for what is to come in the future. And so if you really want to know what's happening, if you really want to feel that safety and that security about your tomorrow, then you have to be present in your now. Because what you do now affects what you will do tomorrow. We can break it down to something simple. If there are dishes in the sink and you're tired and you've been working all day and you don't feel like doing the dishes, I often ask myself, Okay, but will Ashanti feel like doing the dishes tomorrow? And the answer is usually always no. So I go and I do the dishes. And once I get started, I'm in it. I'm good. I'm ready to go. I've gotten it all wiped out in 20 minutes. It's all put away, all fresh and clean. My kitchen is clean before I go to sleep. And when I wake up tomorrow, I don't have to worry about dealing with yesterday's mess. And you can apply that same allegory to anything. If you deal with it now, you don't have to deal with it tomorrow. And so this is how I become present. These are the practices that I do to maintain joy and to be present in my day. The first thing I do is I trust in God. I trust God. Okay. I have been through a number of things and I've shared some of this before in the past, but I have lost everything. I have been in car accidents. I have had major fallouts with people that I love the most. There have been so many things that have happened in the course of my life in the last like 4 years. And I have learned that God has been with me every single step of the way. And if you really think about it, you'll find that it's true for you as well. God promised that he would never leave us nor forsake us, and he stands by his word. If there's anyone that we can count on being faithful to what he said, it is God. And every time I go back and I read an old journal excerpt that I wrote, or I think about something that happened in the past, I am always able to find where God was present with me when I was going through it and how he heard my prayers and brought me out of it so that I could be where I am now. And it actually makes it easier to just let go of everything because I trust God. I believe that he's going to do what he says. And I lean into that. And I know that because I've experienced it and because I'm experiencing it every day. This morning, I was praying on my way to work and I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, show me what's going on with me because I felt some turmoil within, but I didn't know where it was coming from. And leaving there to come here and record this, I was listening to my spirit and I realized, oh, it was a lack of confidence. I was lacking some confidence this morning. And so I was kind of entering in the day with a defeated attitude. But by the time lunch came around, God answered my prayer and showed me what I was dealing with and boosted my confidence. So you have to know that your father, your heavenly father loves you and he's going to answer your prayers. He's going to talk to you. If you talk to him, he's going to talk to you. And, we've been talking about the movement, moving with God, being present in his spirit, with his spirit and being in alignment with him. If you're going to be in alignment with God, you have to be in agreement with him as well, which means that you have to trust him. And I hate to say you have to because we all go through different things in our lives where sometimes we feel like we can't trust God. But I say that because that's how I talk to myself. I trust in God and I practice it daily. Just because things didn't turn out the way I thought they would didn't mean that they didn't turn out the way that they were meant to. I hope that made sense. And if you're like me and you're the kind of person who wants things to turn out the way that you want them to turn out, I would encourage you to just practice trusting God and allowing his plan to unfold over your life. The second thing that I do is I remind myself that no matter what, no matter how this turned out, no matter who comes, no matter who doesn't, I am going to be all right. That is a daily practice of mine. I remind myself over and over and over again that no matter what, even if things go horribly wrong, even if everything that fear has ever told me comes true, I know that I'm going to be all right because I am determined to be. I am determined to be all right. So I don't have to worry about the future. I don't have to be afraid about what's to come because I am determined to be all right. And as crazy and as weird as that may sound to you, you can practice that as well. Look at all the things that I love that quote that says you have survived 100% of your worst days. Well, because you have. If you're here and you're alive, Honey, you survived 100% of your worst days. So why are you letting fear take the joy out of that? The Bible says this is the day that the Lord has made. We should rejoice and be glad in it. Why? Well, first of all, because it's a day that He made that I'm allowed to see. And second off, because I survived every day prior to. And that is worth rejoicing. Every day is worth celebrating. And when you put it in your mind, when you remind yourself over and over again, I'm going to be okay. This hurts and I'm heartbroken, but I'm going to be okay. I didn't expect this, and this might take me a really long time to get over, but I'm going to be okay. And I'm going to get better every day. Another quick little tidbit on this, when I had my first baby, I had some tearing um, down there. Sorry, guys, if you're listening, okay? And I had to heal. And it took a lot longer than I thought it would. It took me like 14 weeks to really get fully healed after having my first baby. Obviously, she's healthy. I was healthy, but there were some things that happened in the procedure that caused me a lot of pain. But every day, starting at about week 4, maybe it was week 6, I woke up and I would go into the restroom and I would get myself ready for the day. And every day while I was in there, I would say, I'm getting better every single day. I'm getting better every single day. I'm better today than I was yesterday. And I would just speak that over myself. And I would remind myself that this might be taking longer than I thought, but I'm on my way to a fully healed body. And sure enough, 6 weeks later, 7, 8 weeks later, I was better. And I was at the place that I always hoped that I would be. And that I kept speaking over myself that I would be. And so remind yourself, you're going to be okay, no matter how long it takes. Take yourself out of it and just trust God and believe that, hey, I'm gonna be all right. My God is keeping me. My God knows where I am. The third thing that I do is I lean into hope. This is something that took me a little bit of time to really get into the practice of, where it became easy. Because when I was first leaving anxiety behind, I had to retrain my brain not to think about what's the worst that could happen, but to think about what's the best that could happen and to lean into the hope that the best possible outcome would happen. And this is not foolishness, right? This is not faking reality. This is hope. This is saying, you know what? I don't know what's going to come of this, but I'm going to hope for the best. I'm going to lean into the idea that this could be the most amazing thing that ever happened to me. It may sound, especially if you're going through something right now, it sounds hopeless. You feel hopeless, but hope is so powerful because even if things don't turn out the way you hoped, you kept yourself in a place of joy despite what happened. So, for instance, when you're a kid for Christmas, right? You're hoping that you get that awesome toy that your dad that you begged your mom and dad for. And for Christmas, you come along and you didn't get that toy, but you got some other things that were really awesome. As a child, you didn't throw away every Christmas present that you got because you didn't get the one that you wanted, right? So in life, why would you throw away the beauty of every moment in between for an outcome that you didn't want, for an outcome that you didn't get? That's like throwing away every Christmas present that you ever received because you didn't get the Barbie that you wanted or you didn't get the basketball that you hoped for. You wouldn't do that, right? It's the same thing here with our mental and our physical and our spiritual worlds. Whatever you're going through, you've got to lean into the hope. And what that does is it empowers you to have faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, right? Faith is the thing that makes everything you are hopeful for tangible. And so when you lean into that hope, you open yourself up to receive the abundance of joy and love and peace and everything that you asked for, even if it comes in a package that you didn't expect. That's another thing too, this is just kind of like a bonus thing, but I look for things that I'm not expecting. And oftentimes I don't see it until after the fact. So that could be possible for you as well. But look for things to come in different packages than we expect. Because a lot of times God could be telling us exactly what we need to hear, but we're ignoring it because it's in the form of an old friend or a sibling, or it's sitting right in front of us on our computer screen, but we're overlooking it because we're trying to figure it out on our own. So I would just encourage you to lean into hope and start practicing that. Yes, anxiety comes and says, well, this could happen, and then this could happen, and then this could happen, and this is the worst thing that could possibly happen. But what does joy say? Well, this could happen, and then this could get better, and then this could go even further than that, and I could end up here. If you don't have hope, you won't strive for anything. You won't reach as far as you can go. And for anyone who needs to hear this, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. So if he chose you to do something and you're holding back because you're afraid that you're not good enough or you're afraid that you can mess it up, lean into it. Go for it. Because when God chose you, he qualified you. And he knows that you're capable and he's already decided that. And that is what you should lean into. That's a confidence that we can have. God chose me for this. I'm leaning into it. And then the last thing, the last little tidbit practice that I would give you is to think about the future from a perspective of love. Who do you want to be? What kind of mom do you want to be? Do you want to be the kind of mom that reacts and overreacts it when your kids spill the milk on the floor? Or do you want to be the kind of mom who helps them clean it up and then shows them how to pour it without making a mess, without losing your patience or your temper? Who do you want to be? Because the only way that you're going to become that is by being that now, by being in the present moment. If you don't want to be the mom that freaks out on your kids all the time, then I would suggest not overthinking the future. Because a lot of the anxiety that we feel throughout the day is a result of the thoughts that we've had all day long, of us trying to predict the future, of us trying to figure out what's going to happen next, and us trying to make ourselves safe. And by doing so, we actually do the opposite and we make ourselves feel unsafe and insecure and fearful. Where if we had just chosen to be present, if we had just chosen to think, okay, today didn't go the way that I thought it would, and I wasn't the person that I wanted to be today, but I'm going to start now. It might be 11 o'clock at night, but I'm going to pick up my book and I'm going to read it. I'm going to journal it out. I'm going to get it on the page and I'm going to go to sleep and wake up and try again tomorrow. These are thoughts that a person who is not anxious has. And that's my goal for you. My goal is to help you to get anxiety free. Anxiety is going to show up and knock on the door any day. But whether or not it controls you, whether or not it affects you and makes you change your mind and panic and all of that, that is entirely up to you. You get to choose. Who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe fear or are you going to believe joy? Are you going to believe fear or are you going to believe love? Are you going to believe fear or are you going to believe God? Friends, I pray that today really blessed you. I pray that you're moved by something that was spoken and that it really resonated with you in your heart, because it's important that you have all of the faith and the hope and the joy that was promised to you. Yes, even in the midst of political, societal craziness, you don't have to be anxious. That is a choice that you get to make. You don't have to overthink. That is a choice that you get to make. And today, we're going to be free from anxiety and free from overthinking. If this episode blessed you, please leave me a review on Apple Podcasts and let me know. Share it with a friend so that we can keep continually sharing the gospel and pushing the kingdom of God. If you're interested and would love to be a part of the community, I'd love for you to join our Facebook community and the emails as well. They're both linked in the show notes. And if you're interested in being on the podcast or would like your business shared on the podcast, please click the show notes that talks about ads and how to get involved. I would love to promote your business and partner with you for the future. Thanks again for tuning in today, guys. I'll see you guys later this week.